welcome to Cosmic Turtles. My name is Tina. This is BB. She got in the middle of the reading. Hi, BB. You stay here. Yeah. Well, she's a good girl. So she came to say hi for this reading. I'm a little late on the reading, but it's still going to come out to today. Alright, so what do we have? We have something from the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. Let's see what we can see, sense, feel, hear in the collective at this moment. A lot of changes are afoot. People are so close to a realization of sorts. They can feel it, or they started touching base with it, but they're not catching it on fully yet, but it's getting there. The universe is very gentle and benevolent. What is annoying is you want to have the whole answer, and sometimes you're not ready for it yet, so it doesn't show up that way. So it shows up in a more cryptic way, or in a way where maybe in a way so you'd be able to receive it better, or the universe is waiting for you to get in that seat of receiving instead of that seat of asking all the time. Because while you're asking, you're not receiving. So you ask, let it go, do the surrender thing, breathe, do whatever else that you need to do, because there's plenty to do in the daytime anyway. And then the answers, they just come. Whatever it is you've been asking. But things line up. You start, but be aware to be able to recognize the universities. That's just something that's coming through. But to recognize the opportunities when they come through in this great university called life. We are no longer in grade school fighting each other. We're no longer in junior high although those programs are still happening. We're no longer into the judgment and criticizing and pointing fingers, look what they're doing and this and that. So there's no more of that. We're literally in the university of life right now. So we fast-tracked this pretty quickly. And some of us in one department of life, or many, we're still catching up to it. We may have a knowing like on the mental aspect, and we're up there. But on the emotional aspect, we still haven't learned how to open up and things like that. So we're still in the lower grades for that. So if you want to do a full assessing about yourself, you see like the four legs of a table. Which ones did you give the most attention to? And is your platform flat? Is it balanced? So you can freely walk on it without feeling off balance, right? So you seek that inside of you, what it is that you need to do for yourself. You can be inspired by other people's stories or what you've read and things like that, but don't try to make it fit as if it's your own. You make sure you're doing your assessment about your own life. First card we have is Temple of Truth, throat chakra, authenticity, self-expression. Are the words that you're saying actually yours, or was it just something you're regurgitating from somewhere where you remember reading it, hearing it, seeing it? There's things, yes, it inspires us and guides us in a certain direction. But the first thing we're searching in the first place was our own truth, which comes together with everybody else's, because we're all in the same collective. Okay? So let's see the quick definition of the Temple of Truth. Let's see, Temple of Truth. And this just came out before, so we're still on that subject matter. What is it? 153. So there's still some more work to be done on that aspect in the collective itself. It's your own truth. Not, oh, that offended me. That, yeah, maybe that's a preference. It's not a truth, because your preferences can change. I could really like a color, and then I had it too much as a kid type of thing, and then I choose a different color. And now that is my truth. Well, yes, there is the personality's truth, and then there's the deeper being's truth. What is your soul truth? Because that's the one that carries you through all of your experiences of transformation and changes and self-realization. The one thing that stays the same, the constant part of you, what is that? That's what it is to know thyself. It's not just knowing, well, I like that color, and all those are fine. It's the beginning steps. But if you're those are fine for a while, but when you're searching for more, you can't rely on those as much, because those could be changed, right? You could eat apples, and you're sick of apples. You prefer strawberries now, or vice versa. So your preferences, you're going through changes and transformations. There's things that are going to change anyway within you. Your preferences are going to change. But what does not change is your essence, who you are originally, who you are when you are being authentic. Your authentic self does not change, because that's who you were made to be while you're here. That's who you are regardless. You're timeless. It's a tough concept to grasp, but once you get into it, you're starting to see how things move, how things are, and you're like, oh, okay. Then there could be a little bit more peace within you saying, yeah, I'm good with this. I know I can change my mind about that. I can change my mind about that. But I know this part here, this has always been me. It's been me since I was little. It's been me throughout my whole experience so far. Okay? That's your divine spark, your essence, your however it is. When you find out what it is, you describe it the way you see fit. Your message. When you are brought to this space, you're being reminded of the importance of your identity and your self-expression in this lifetime. Acknowledging who you are, who you have been, and who you are becoming is so important for the unfoldment of your path. Yeah, it's not just what is the constant, it's where you came from, how much you've improved, and what you want to become, and what it takes to get there. You're always working in threes. There's an old story that the truth hurts. This gateway reminds you that in fact the truth heals. Now if the truth hurts you, it's because it's bruising your ego. But the actual truth is the one that heals you. Your truth is your truth. It is important for you to honor it with every facet of your being. This isn't the first incarnation in which you have felt the importance of honesty and authenticity, but it may be the first in which you have had full freedom of expression. Yeah. Some of you identify with past life where it was in the time of Salem, and maybe you knew about the medicines, you knew how to help and heal and guide people, and they called you a witch. And in that incarnation, they hung you up, or they burnt you at the stake, or they drowned you. So in this lifetime, try to overcome the phobias that are still within, the fear of expressing yourself. Try to overcome, because it may come from another lifetime. So if you've done past life regression, you don't have to. You can just take yourself as you are and just move through all the issues. You don't even have to know. But for some of us, gaining the understanding, then we can rationalize, okay, it happened then, that's what it was. Now I can let it go because I've found the root cause of it. And once you find the root cause of it, you can cut it out and it's done. It doesn't have to bother you anymore. Okay? This gateway coming to you today is a message that there is something buried deep inside you that you haven't expressed. And this is causing energetic blockages on your ever unfolding path. It is a time to love yourself enough to honor the feelings that are rising up in you, for they are divine guidance that will bring you into greater alignment. Sometimes my internal teacher is very, I find her, I find my internal teacher to be very uh, blunt or brusque. Like it's like in your face. This is what's going on. Like, can you see it? Like, almost with a sense of urgency. Like, and as I'm getting to know myself more, I'm rising up to becoming that teacher. That is my higher self. We are to ascend to our. And there was a fear about that before. Because I was like, well, because I could see the perspective on the other side. And maybe that was the whole point. So I could see all the perspectives rising up towards becoming that greater teacher. So if I encounter someone like how I used to be before, I can bring the attention, I can bring the message to that person in a more gentler way, if that's what's needed. Or I could just say, well, you got something to work on. There's a blockage. I'll respect, due to spiritual integrity, I'll respect that wall that's in front here. And I'll just say it like it is. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. But the thing is, whatever was said, it stays, doesn't it? If it was either important, inspirational, or hurtful, we remember them. But guess what? The hurtful ones, kick them out. If it's only your ego that was bruised, the wisdom of the message will stay. The hurt, the pain, that'll go. So there's a way of dismantling whatever it is that you receive from people. Sometimes it's their own projection. They're pointing a finger. Guess what? There's three pointing back at them. So when they're putting a judgment on you, there's three pointing back at them. So really, who are they talking to or about? They're talking about themselves. The more people can rise up in that kind of wisdom, the less that kind of BS will happen. Let's see what we got from the Wild Unknown Tarot. There's 4 sticks. 4 wands. Heading towards a victory. Almost at the finish line. There's people cheering you on. You got more support than what you think. Even if they're not in the physical world. It could be your pets. It could be you got more support, okay, than what you think. Even if you feel you are alone. There's still people cheering you on. There's still beings. There's still a consciousness, an omnipresent consciousness that's observing everything and cheering you on. Okay, keep moving forward. What else do we got? Mother of Wands. This would be the equal to the Queen of Wands, associated with fire signs. In this imagery, I like the imagery of the Wild Unknown Tarot. She's holding on to these eggs. These eggs are her babies. It's her creation, and she's protecting them. So this is the energy of this card. You may know certain truths about other people, maybe. And sometimes it's not time to reveal those things until it's time to do so. You'll feel it. Also, your truths are your truths. You don't have to go screaming them on top of a big platform so everybody can hear it. You're not seeking attention. You're seeking respect. It's not the same. Not the same. So this person is being, even though they're a fire sign, the Queen of Wands is associated with fire sign, she's not looking to go and say, oh, look at all my beautiful eggs and everything. And then, no, she's protecting it until they hatch, teach them, and then let them go into the world. So it's kind of like parts of you on the inside. When it's ready to come out, it's mature enough, then it's ready to come out into the world. That could be your own wisdom too, when it's mature enough, when it's ready to be received. You'll feel a calling for it. These things take strength. The strength card is here. Takes strength to, sometimes you want to say something, but you know it's not time to say something. So So you don't say it. You may know that someone's going totally in the wrong direction, but it's their journey, not yours. That takes a lot of strength to kind of like, oh yeah, detach from the situation. But at the same time, like, all you can do is hold loving space for them. Okay? If they're your child, you protect them and you guide them, teach them. If there's someone that you care about, but they're already an adult, let them do what they're going to do. If they're asking for help, give your advice. If they decide not to take it, don't take that personally. You gave what they asked. They didn't accept it. That's on them, not on you. And more than likely, your advice will come back to their mind anyway, saying, geez, I should have listened. So that's like a teaching for their experience. You just happen to be one of the ones to help on their journey. We don't know the impact we have and how it affects people. You'll have an opportunity to speak your truth. You'll have an opportunity to bring everything out into the open on whatever subject matter at that moment. You'll feel it. There'll be a flow, and then there'll be a moment of, this is the moment. You'll just know. That opportunity will come up. This is also speaks about opportunity in communication. Communicating what it is, what you need to say. Also, it is associated with the sword of truth, which is also the sword that cuts through BS. It's also the sword that can be used for cutting cords. Regardless how this resonates for you, take it as you will. If it doesn't make sense, have fun throwing it out the window. That's no big deal. There'll be other readings anyway. Let's see what else we got. We have another one? It says no. It says maybe. It says no. Once you do what you gotta do, you'll have a lot of, you'll have help coming through. Offers of help. And, oh wow. Okay, this one was hiding in there. So one flipped and I kept shuffling. So you got them both. You got an offer, and that's that big opportunity. For those of you looking for love, there could be a love offer coming your way. So we got the Ace of Cups and we got the Knight of Cups. So there's an offer that comes in. There's an opportunity that's presented. It's an offer of either love. Well, it's all love-based. So it could be love as in relationship or partnership. It could be partnership as in for business. It could be friendship, okay? There's all kinds of different connections that happen. But this is an offer, a genuine offer coming in. So that is available also in the collective at the moment concerning you and how you express your truth. Now, next card, we get an oracle. Get a moon, keywords, moon goddess one. Let's see what we got. Sometimes the messages are slow to come, sometimes it's cryptic, and sometimes they're direct and to the point. So it depends, like you could tell that, or you could, those that can sense things, you can feel, like I feel there's things are starting to move forward again. There was some stagnancy, some slow moving energies last week before, and now it's like everything culminated to a point where, okay, time to let whatever it was, maybe it was a time to let go of stuff, and then now you've let it go, you feel lighter, ready to move forward. Whatever projects, ideas, whatever pertains to your truth as well, and in your search of truth for yourself. Yeah, let's see what we got. Woo, blossoming. So there's definitely the promise of blossoming happening around you. So in the last 2 weeks, maybe you planted some seeds, and now you're starting to see some results from this. There's a blossoming or something, a promise of that happening. So continue I do apologize for the noise. Continue moving forward in your truth. For those of you in the collective that have done the work and continuously is ongoing with your own maintenance, whatever it is that you need to do to move forward, there's blossoming ahead for you. And then there's use your discernment. Whatever it is, you could be invited to this, invited to that, or be offered this, be offered that, and use your internal promptings, use your discernment. If they're being too pushy, like a car salesman, poor car salesmen, they keep being used as an example as the bad boy or the bad person. We don't mean to badmouth it. It's just saying a good salesperson that probably has ill intent here. We'll say it that way instead of always using, I have people in my family that were car salesmen. They weren't bad. So use your discernment whenever people are approaching you in a way and they want quick answers and they want you to respond right away and not even give you a chance to even think and process and decide for yourself instead of falling for their manipulation. So for those that are manipulating, they don't all do that. So use your discernment. Listen to your internal promptings. There's one saying, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. If it seems fair, if it looks like a good deal, the time of year plays a difference. Look at the small print. Make sure you read the small print. That's why we have cell phones. If we can't read it ourselves, we can take a picture of it and then bring it bigger, and then we could really read it. I know some elders, they love the cell phone for that, because you don't have to bring a magnifying glass anywhere. But I use it too. But I'm not an elder yet. Okay, so you could use anything to your advantage in a good way, in a playful way. So use your discernment in that way as well. And you can kindly decline anything that doesn't feel right without them knowing that you actually caught them, because they'll just continue doing what they're doing. However, we are speaking about the temple of truth. Maybe it's your turn to actually put one up on them, saying, I know what you're doing. If you feel called to do so, that's totally up to you. But if you can avoid fights, do that, because that keeps your internal peace intact. If you're looking for a fight, definitely you're going to find one. Doesn't mean it'll be pleasant, and you may have to take a few days to recover from it. So always use your discernment, choose your battles type of thing. Alright, let's see what we got from the chakra wisdom cards here. What do we have that may be something to work on or focus on? Alright, through this, especially when it comes to speaking your truth, and that does make sense. Insecurity. You may feel insecure, but it's just things from the past, whatever was projected onto you, saying you're not good enough, this, that, and the other thing. That wasn't true. It was just to stunt your growth, to preventing you from excelling, because someone somewhere was jealous, and that's why they said those things in the first place. So release all those things if you can trace it back to where it came from, and know that it isn't true. You're seeking for your actual true self, your authentic self, and bringing that fully into its full expression to be, right? So insecurity is something to be on the lookout for. If you do tend to feel it a little bit, know that it isn't yours. It's not yours. You'll have some bittersweet moments because we're still all battling on the inside somehow, some way, like what was, who we were, and who we're trying to become. Stay in the present moment. You'll have moments that are bittersweet. It's good, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. So take things with a grain of salt. Don't give too much attention to it. Be kind, be present for that moment, and then move on, right? Whatever it is. All right, so, and then you'll experience, renewal. Renewal's on the way. There's blossoming and renewal. Isn't that awesome? And discernment would be associated with the bittersweet. So, definitely. And part of your strength is overcoming your insecurity. Okay? Because when you do overcome that, you gain strength. You're not afraid anymore. Right? So there's a renewal. And then blossoming is possible. And you're more self-empowered. You become more of your authentic self. Your expression of who you are becomes more of a flow. It has more ease. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got from the Earth Wisdom Oracle here. What do we got for keywords for this collective read? There's two. There's one sticking out just after the fact, but let's get this first one. Connection. Connection to what? To who? To when? To where? These are the questions to ask within. First and foremost, your connection is to you, within you, your divine spark, or your higher self. I know some of my friends are atheists, and they don't believe in anything that's unseen. So, my atheist friends, they know thyself. They know they have the potential to become more. You could call that your subconscious, your higher self. Make that connection with that. It's all the same, just different terminology depending on which perspective you're looking at this life from. Okay? So, connection. Also, connection speaks about connecting the dots of your experiences and how things connect when it comes to synchronicity. It's not just random. There is like a somehow, some way, it's really odd, really weird, really fun. and things just happen. You're like, hey, I was just thinking about that, and it happens. Even the atheist friends, they go through that too. They're not going to go so far as to say, oh, well, it's a divine plan. No. But they'll say maybe there is a law of the universe. Yes. Which is the same thing. But to each his own, right? I see the connection. I do the bridge of understandings between different points of views. And even though they're opposing, like the sun and the moon, they still occupy the same sky, right? So I make the connections. All right, so you make the connections for your own life as well. You do that for you. See how things connect. Oh! Card that was like hiding in the background. Maybe that's why the card bittersweet came. Absence. Absence. I'll let you figure out how that could be a good thing in your life. I'll leave you with a question. Think of scenarios where it's beneficial to not be there sometimes for a while, and then when you come back, we didn't see you for so long. But if you were there every day, oh, it's just you. How many people after COVID appreciate who they haven't seen in their family for how long? Right? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Absence. There's also those that have passed on, and you can feel their absence. But try to make a connection that they're always there with you, regardless, just in a different form. Okay? So I would say these two kind of come together with this one, the bittersweet one, right? It's soothing, yes, but not exactly how it was. Right? All right, collective. This has been your reading. This is Tina from Cosmic Turtles. I'd like to say thank you to all my supporters, everyone that watches. Please hit the like button. It really helps my channel. And so this is Tina, Cosmic Turtles, and we'll see you next time.